Hello and welcome back to the Pitwall Podcast, where this week we're going to be breaking down the Spanish Grand Prix.
Oh, it was okay race
It
overall.
wasn't super special, but
Yeah, it was nothing special, but there is a lot of interest going into the rest of the season that we have to talk about. Before we get started, remember to like, subscribe, follow at the Pitwall Pod. Lots of really cool content coming out that I'm going to tell it on both, but next week our videos are going to be a little weird. We probably will not have anything for the Austrian Grand Prix and going into Silverstone because I'm going on a secret adventure trip to film a very awesome video that I'm not going to say what it is just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
But that's why we won't have it. So without further ado, let's get into quali in 60 seconds. Qualifying was one of the best things about this whole weekend, just want to say. But with that said, Williams, rough day for them. P19, P20. Also, something happened to RB over this weekend. Don't really know. P17, P18, so those teams all together. And K-Mag, P16. Zhou, however, made it out and made it into P15. Barely beaten by Lance Stroll in an Aston Martin, who got beat by Nico Hulkenberg and Valtteri Bottas, 13 and 12. Fernando Alonso did not make Q3 and was out in P11, but it wasn't Checo this time, so there's that.
That's
Oscar Piastri, P10, when he has lap time deleted for going crazy wide. Esteban Ocon, P9, and Checo, P8, who got beat by the other Alpine in P7. Carlos Sainz, P6. Leclerc, P5, not a good day for Ferrari. P4 and 3 Mercedes were back. P2 Max Verstappen and P1 Lando Norris, even though he was doomed to blow it.
Let me tell you, seeing an Alpine ahead of Checo Perez.
Oh my
hurt
gosh.
my soul.
Before the penalty. And then his three place grid penalty for the last race, he starts behind both of them. Oh man.
I'm so sad.
Well,
look, he at least made it into Q3. Like, come on now.
Good job. Debatably the
you
fastest.
did your job.
Debatably the fastest car. Definitely bare minimum the second fastest car on the grid right now. And can barely get into Q3. Hilarious.
It's tough.
Well, where do you want to start? Let's start with RB. I feel like that's an interesting place to start.
So, RB had a significant upgrade package this weekend, which
was developed in Aston Martin's garage.
Yeah, apparently because or in Alpine's because it turned them into a tractor, bro.
No. Alpine can clearly do upgrades.
Beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Sorry, beginning of the season.
Yeah, don't crap on their upgrades. Crap on their
No. I just meant like as in the team is in whole. Something happened. Like their huge upgrade package they've been waiting on just didn't do anything for them. They went backwards. It felt like.
Yeah. Where did Ricciardo finish?
He finished P15.
Yeah, and Yuki finished P19.
That's like his worst finish of the season.
Probably one of his worst in a while where he actually finished. Yeah. Dude, terrible. I mean, basically it's Logan and everybody. He finished at the lowest of everybody but Logan.
Okay, speaking of Logan, like Williams, like I feel like Logan could have been at least P18.
I agree.
But he was P20. I feel like this weekend, on top of Logan just being Logan, it was Williams' fault.
Williams was pretty bad this weekend. And he finally had all the same parts, and it just
So like I actually had hope for Williams and as a whole this season.
I did
like
too.
Last year they started as Albon started looking like really good, and then there's Logan, of course. But so like, and then seeing this weekend, I'm like, what happened?
And then they take a step back because they're trying to like build this all around car.
Yeah.
Let's just control alt delete this weekend and give them one more chance.
Yeah. Hopefully,
not Logan.
Hopefully this step backwards isn't like a turnaround and keep walking backwards. Because if that's the case, like Williams was already rebuilding for a while now.
Yeah.
And like you can't go backwards right now. You were on a trajectory to go at least to the midfield.
And James Vowles we trust.
Yeah, exactly.
And James Vowles we trust. And
I think after this weekend he'll probably whip it up into shape.
RB left the door wide open, I will say, and so we'll see because now Alpine has overtaken RB and Haas. And sorry, I had to think.
I like
about
your little vocals there.
Haas. We need one of those boards with sound effects so I could.
Haas.
Yes, RB. Hold on. Oh, this is not current. Dude, when you Google this is just a side note. When you Google this, it doesn't update it for like days. You have to go on the website.
Oh, like F1,
yes.
Formula1.com?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alpine overtook Haas, but RB is still in 6th by a lot.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Haas, not really a special weekend to talk about, but they did get P11, which the Haas of old was never close to.
Yeah.
So, they're in the conversation for points. Also, everybody finished this race. No yellow flag, no safety car.
That's why it wasn't that crazy.
I think if I'm keeping track, this is the 19th time this has happened in Formula One history. I might have lost count. I was at the 17th time it ever happened at Miami, and I think it's only happened twice since then.
Yeah.
Miami last year. But yeah, how did K-Mag do? Oh, and Hulkenberg got a penalty for something.
Yeah. K-Mag finished P17. His qualifying, dude. He blamed it on traffic, and
no traffic.
Yeah, there was nothing there. Also had a 5-second penalty for a false start. So
excellent.
That didn't help his case, but
can't even start the race correctly.
Yeah, he said there's traffic at the the start.
Let me tell you something. There is a dead heat for Menace of the Year right now. Let me tell you. Lance Stroll, K-Mag, and actually,
dude, I think K-Mag's at the top right now.
I think so too. Yeah. But you know who's a close third that we're gonna talk about right now? Carlos freaking Sainz, man. How was Carlos's race? Tell me about his shenanigans, and I will tell you what I felt.
So he finished P6, clashed with Leclerc on lap 1. Thankfully, with no damage to either car, but still was wild. He made up for it, allowed Leclerc to overtake him at the end of the race.
He didn't allow.
No, it was team orders.
Okay, but he would have got him.
Oh yeah.
He would have got him, and Leclerc was only doomed to finish in P5.
Yes, he didn't fight it. How about that? He didn't fight what was going to happen.
Agreed.
Okay.
Well, he had a little tussle with Lewis Hamilton as well, which caused damage.
Talk about this.
And then he gets on, he's like, what is there a rule book for? What is there a rule book for? Everybody else is saying, wow, what a great overtake, Lewis. And he's going, oh, what's going on here? I'm just like, Carlos, like, I get it. You need a seat. But also, I'm pretty sure you have all the offers in the world right now, and you're just dragging your feet. Did you know that there was an extra Drive to Survive crew at Spain this weekend just to follow Carlos because Williams was supposed to announce him as driver, and then he didn't sign? And then
what?
Dude, this is like a true thing. Like Kim Illman said it in his video, and he literally talked to these people.
Yeah.
And he's like, they were here because there was supposed to be a big announcement, and it was supposed to be Carlos going to Williams. And then he's just dragging his feet, I guess.
Oh, man. I didn't know about that.
I mean, maybe my only theory is maybe Red Bull is having second thoughts. With Checo.
That's a possibility.
But there's no way they're going to jump at this point.
Dude,
Lawson
they just signed him. Do you think they're going to immediately turn around and not? Their ego is pretty big.
I think Lawson... I think they got plenty of people in their own.
I don't
camp.
know. I mean, dude, if I was in the Red Bull, if I was in charge of Red Bull, it'd be Max and Sainz.
Yeah.
But then again, you also have to think of what they're doing. Also, what Max wants, like we've said.
Well, also, like I keep seeing rumors from very reliable sources saying Max and his group hasn't fully closed the door on the idea of leaving Red Bull. It's like 95% they're not going to do it, but they're still kind of watching this happen.
Yeah.
Because I mean, admittedly, and let's get into this too after we talk about it. But Mercedes kind of came out of nowhere, but I've been expecting this.
Yeah.
I've been expecting this, and this is basically what I expected to happen, which is kind of what McLaren did, which is just all of a sudden, bam, they figured it out.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll talk about Mercedes in a second. Leclerc finished P5 to finish off the Ferrari thing. Ferrari just threw away the Constructors' Championship in the last two races, man. Because Checo's just leaving the door as wide open. He's opened a garage door for them, and they've pulled a tractor trailer the wrong way in front of it.
Ferrari won Monaco, and it was like, that's all we need.
We're good.
That's all, folks.
They're like, we won Monaco. Oh, we also won
Le
Mans.
We're the best. That means we're the best.
Dude, I saw this meme, and it's just so funny. They're like, double DNF. Everything is fine. We're the best Formula One team. Yeah. We changed nothing.
I saw that.
It's so funny. Dude, I don't know, man. And another team that I got no clue what's going on with is Aston Martin.
Dude, they are. Talk about like how we were saying
Dumpster
Williams is
fire.
walking backwards. Like Aston Martin has like turned into Williams, bro. They're going like
I know
from championship contenders just all the way to the back.
P12, and at least Williams won some championships.
Yeah, that's true.
Aston Martin, like Alonso P12, and when Alonso's only getting P12, Stroll's like an F7.
That's true.
Like the dude, they're not even giving him a motor in his go-kart yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going by hill momentum.
He's playing the
soapbox.
Yeah.
The soapbox game. That might be too dangerous for him, actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dude, where's Stroll finish for the record?
Hold on, let me find him. Okay. He finished P14.
Got beat by Zhou.
Also about Stroll, how he drove into Hamilton in practice.
Oh,
dude.
Thank you.
And he got a reprimand for it. I
forgot about this.
I knew you had a take on it, but
there's no take. He's an idiot.
He should, and he also just should have gotten more than a reprimand for that.
Listen, Lewis made a mistake. He pulls over, is apologizing on the radio immediately, and waves like the full "I'm sorry, my fault," like dojo bow, whatever you do, you got to get out of it. And he probably would have went up and apologized to him in person given the opportunity. And Lance lets go of his wheel and lets his car slam into, causing damage to his own car, which is just hilarious. Not that it matters, but it might have improved that car. But I don't know, man. I'm just so over it. Also, I didn't mention. We talked about where Williams finished. Bottas P16 since I brought it up, and I mentioned Zhou as well.
Zhou finished P13, so it's not bad for Sauber.
We'll take it.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
It's like we're here. Don't forget
beat
about
multiple of other teams. So
yes, that is true.
And I think the only thing we haven't talked about is Red Bull and Mercedes at this point.
McLaren and Alpine.
McLaren. Oh, well, Alpine we kind of mentioned.
I have something to say about Alpine at least. Okay, so Ocon finished P10. Double points, by the way, for Gasly was like P9.
Yep.
I've seen speculation about Mick Schumacher going to Alpine.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a possibility, or do you think they're going to grab someone else, like
Jack Doohan?
Yeah.
I don't know. The real curveball, and this is a great question, is that they've just brought back a guy that was there in 2008 for Crashgate and like engineered Crashgate and is now their like advisor again, which I love. I love that.
Yeah.
Like I have literally zero complaint about that because I think Alpine is just fully embracing who they are, which is just a crappy F1 team.
Yes.
Like they're the current Force India. It's like what I would like, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's fine. So it depends if Gasly stays.
Would you want to see Mick Schumacher back?
Here's the thing. I think they're going to pick Mick Schumacher because they always make the wrong decision.
Oh, okay.
Well, even though Ocon, Gasly, that was a bad decision too. They're both good drivers. That was a good individual.
They both have to be number one, dude.
Yeah. It was that was two good individual decisions, but put together was a bad decision. Yes, I will. I do think he's going to end up there, but I think it should be doing, and I think they're going to screw that up.
Yeah.
Unless Gasly also leaves somehow. Again, this is all. Everybody's waiting on Sainz to make a decision.
Dude, yeah. If Sainz locks something in, everything's changing.
What do you think about Mick, though? Do you think Mick's going to make it?
I mean, as in like do well, or do you mean get in? I kind of agree with you. Like my thought was that like this is something that Alpine would do.
Yes, this is absolutely something Alpine would do.
But I don't. There's also like so many rookie or like would be rookie drivers that are like really good out right now that like are available for pickup, and I don't know if they're gonna go over that. But like, I don't know. I'd like to see Mick back just for one more season, just to see if it was like just Haas.
Yeah,
I mean it would be Alpine, so I mean
the French Haas.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm waiting for Haas to finally sign Ollie Behrman. The dude is getting 6 FP1 sessions this year. 6. That's all of the every Ferrari power unit on the grid he's driving. He's getting the seat. Yeah. And when you put someone new in, it screws everything up because that means one person is losing their seat bare minimum.
Yeah.
Probably bare minimum.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm waiting for that. So talk about Red Bull.
So Max obviously got the win. He's doing what he has to do to get constructors because Checo obviously is not. Checo finished P8, started P11 because of that 3-place grid penalty. So he got back to where he qualified at least. Dude, I love Checo.
Yeah.
But this can't happen, bro. It's so many times.
Dude,
this is the first time in four races that he's gotten into Q3.
Yeah.
In the past 4 races.
And it's like got barely any points.
Yeah. He's not doing anything for the team.
I know he was on the 3 stop, but that's really his fault. He should have had extra tires.
Yeah.
Probably. I can't.
It's like for Checo, if he makes it into Q3, everything else goes bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, he made it into Q3. This is a possible chance. It's like, oh, he made it in Q3. You know something's going to happen now.
You know what I literally cannot wait for? Max is going to have to take a new power unit at some point because of his Canadian Grand Prix thing. Here's what's going to happen. Checo's going to qualify somewhere between like 12th and 8th for that race. And then Max is either going to start next to him or behind him because Max is going to start in P1 or 2. And Max is going to freaking win that race.
Yeah.
And Checo is going to be like P9 at the end of the race. Or maybe not win, but at least be on the podium. Bare minimum. Like, it's not as bad as it used to be, and maybe some crazy shenanigans will happen that the McLarens are a little too far away, and maybe he only gets to P4. But still, and it's just like, I mean, thank you, Red Bull. I get it. Thank you for screwing around. What are they doing? I just don't understand, man.
I don't get it. I wish that I like. Obviously, we can't. I just wish there was a way I could just sit in on these decisions to understand how they think.
What does Checo have on them?
Yeah.
Did he send the emails? Like, I gotta know.
It's like, I've got more.
Dude, I have it in an email. Dude, I
have it printed out.
I could go all day about that. Yeah. But let me talk about Mercedes, then I want to talk about Piastri first.
Okay.
And I'll talk about Mercedes and then Lando.
So Piastri finished P7. Yeah, P7. I didn't write him down. I don't know, I guess I skipped him.
Well, he had a rough qualifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, P7.
Yeah. How was Lando?
Well, let me talk about all of this at once. So Mercedes is back, baby. All right, they're not the fastest car, but they're no longer the 5th fastest car.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a slow uptick, but I now have this sinking feeling in my stomach that Lewis made the wrong decision.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Listen, I know Ferrari is
at the time.
Yeah. I'm saying it's a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I think he made the wrong decision. I'm just scared that he did.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Okay.
Mercedes just seems like, listen to the math here, all right?
Okay.
Mercedes is going to have the best engine in 2026. That's a pretty safe assumption, unless Red Bull just pulls something out of the bag. But I think this whole Ford thing is a bad. And we know Ferrari won't, not right away.
Yeah.
Every time we've changed, Ferrari has struggled. So, and now that Mercedes is figuring out their aero, you know what I'm saying?
But
I'm not saying you can't win.
No. Yeah. At least like Hamilton is now going to have a chance to get his last win at Mercedes.
So you think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's too, like, these past races have been too close for me not to say that's a possibility.
Dude, Silverstone.
Like, like you said it in our group chat, if Max takes this engine, this power unit in Silverstone.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Then
Lewis is the odds-on winner.
Yeah.
Other than
Lewis, Lando, and Leclerc are your top 3 picks.
Yeah. So honestly, my ideal world could happen where Lewis wins the constructors. Lewis wins drivers, but Mercedes wins constructors. That's a thing that could happen in 2026.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying right now. I'm like,
no,
excuse me.
No. Something would have to go really wrong. Yeah. I mean, Mercedes has 2 more upgrades coming, so like maybe they could be the 2nd fastest car. I don't know. It's a track-to-track thing right now for Mercedes. Whereas, and so is Red Bull. But Red Bull's like kind of more like this. Where like Red Bull's like the strongest. So, well, you should watch our predictions video for this race. But I have some thoughts on that for this track specifically coming up. Anyway, George starts P4, swings past everybody in turn 1 and leads the race. And I was just like, what? And then I was like, well, he's not going to win. Like, I wasn't super excited, because if Lewis did that, I would believe in him. But then George starts pumping in the lap times. He's just melting his tires. And I'm like, this is George Russell for you.
Yeah.
And he ends in P4. Lewis starts in P3, falls back a little bit, and then regains it as all the shenanigans in turn 1 is happening. And the primary shenanigans that happened in turn 1 was Lando and Max, where Max acted like he got squeezed off, but I don't really think he did in turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Lando Norris, you absolute choker. Every time you start on pole, it just goes wrong. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, he did it for the sprint.
Yeah.
He did it in Sochi. He did it here. I don't know. It's just like he just can't start on pole to save his life.
Yeah.
He's better off in P2. And he ended up in P3 after the first turn. Oof. Behind George, he let George Russell pass him. George Russell from 4th. Now the slipstream and all that, but still. So Lando, man, it's time. And he looked mad after the race. He looked so mad at himself. He even do his bottle thing.
Yeah.
He was just like, champagne. Yeah. I should have won this race. But I don't know. It seemed like Max, I mean, everybody was doing the math like, well, he came out 4 seconds behind and he lost the race by 2 seconds, which means that he actually, I don't think so. Yeah. I think Max would have won. I think Max was saving tires towards the end of the race in case Lando caught up to fight him. Like, the Max of old wouldn't have done this, but that's what I think Max is doing. So anyway, give me your winner and loser for this race.
Winner, let's see. Probably going to be Mercedes.
Okay.
Probably going to be Mercedes.
All right.
Loser, probably, I think Red Bull Racing, or whatever it's called.
Racing Bulls.
Buy
one, get one free.
Yeah, exactly. Because their huge package that they brought did absolutely nothing for them.
All right, well, I'm going to do a tied winner. 1 P3 for Lewis Hamilton, back on the podium. I can't believe I'm celebrating a P3 when it used to be the bare minimum, but here we are. He looked very happy. He also gave us some great memes by sleeping on the couch afterward, which I thought was hilarious. I'm also going to give the winner to Alpine, because I feel like Alpine is just making improvements, and they're moving up, and they've done it at the bare minimum time to move them up the championship. And, I mean, I don't really see Aston. They could pass Aston by the end of the season. I think it's a completely reasonable possibility.
Yeah.
They're 20 points behind them right now, but only 20 points. So it's like, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Loser. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I wouldn't say there was like a clear, like, terrible weekend. RB you gave. Yeah. So I kind of want to agree with that.
There's also
I'm going to give
Williams.
it to Yuki. I'm going to give it to Yuki specifically because not only he finished P19, he finished behind Ricardo by several places.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great for him. So, I mean, he got his extension, so I guess that's the thing. Never extend a Red Bull driver, apparently. Wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it. Be sure to tune in to our predictions video, which will be basically a day right after this, where we predict for the Austrian Grand Prix, which is coming up this week. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.